All right, how you doing, Brett?
Well, good, man. Yourself?
Doing well. We are here for Metal Monday on a Tuesday, and we
Yes,
are
sir.
in June. We are into June. We're almost halfway done with the year already. It's pretty crazy, actually. So,
We got one more month to be halfway. We were just talking about that earlier, so
yeah,
we're
almost,
getting
almost.
there. We're winding the halfway point down.
Yep, yep. And
Let's hope the second half is as good as the first.
exactly. So, we still thinking June's gonna have some up Ferris for everybody.
I think so. I think the early estimates were pretty high. I'm thinking that we'll see where it ends up, but I think there's still a good bump in June to be had. We're just kind of trying to see where it plays itself out. I haven't heard any numbers. Obviously, it's the first day of the
Yeah,
month, and it's a short week, so I would assume people will kind of want to get things going. But if not, then I guess we'll just play the game and wait and see what happens.
yeah. Hopefully, we get some firm numbers by next Monday. That way, we can really
Yeah,
share that with everybody. We saw copper come off. I mean, we were getting 380 or 480 numbers and saw that come off, but really kind of leveled out and, hanging around that 460. This morning, it was like all the way around 470.
yeah, I hit bumped up to 470, and then it kind of tailed off toward the end of the day. But it's
Mhm.
still, I mean, 465 copper, dude, is nothing to sneeze about. I do think that, I still think there's a little bit more run in it. Um, I think, all the base metals kind of hung around. I mean, the precious metals were up a little bit today, so that's always good. But it seemed like everything kind of tailed off toward the end of the day
Gotcha. And like you hinted on, like the PGMs, they really kind of leveled out too. You saw rhodium really take some big hits uh,
last week.
last week, took some big hits. You saw it down like what? Like I think I saw it down 3,000 in one
Yeah,
day.
I think it went down to like 16, but I do
Yeah,
think that I mean, what I saw was like 22.5 today. So
yeah,
I think that the only reason that was that way was, I mean, came out that whole deal when China was kind of trying to take some liquidity out of the market and kind
hmm
of de-juice it a little bit. That was when you saw the big hits come out because I mean, rhodium's been on a hellacious run this year.
yeah.
So I mean, it doesn't surprise me to see it back off a little bit, but you're starting to see it climb again. So um, I still feel pretty confident that material, especially, is going to hang around, the higher side of the 20,000s once it gets back
Gotcha,
there.
gotcha. What's your projections? I know it's hard to go into this. Like I've talked to a lot of people thinking it's gonna come like winter, come fall. You'll see Ferris take a big drop. Do you project that we hang tight all year? I know it's so hard to judge, but just your gut. Like, what's your gut say for the next
My
six
gut
months?
says it's going to be a good year.
Yeah,
I think you got to judge it by what the steel mill capacity is and what they're running at. I think that scrap flow is. I think it'll be decent in June, but like I know when we start hitting the end of June,
mm-hmm.
July, August over here, it's hot, man, and that flow. I don't care what the price is. The price has got to be real high for it to get real crazy. But I think it's going to be a strong. I think we'll have a strong 2022 or 2021 for sure. I don't see and going into 22. I think it'll be strong as well, unless something crazy happens. But the export markets have held pretty strong,
Mm-hmm.
um, which what we need for good domestic scrap pricing. New steel prices, they're not lowering those. I mean, I think everybody that makes rebar jumped rebar $40 last week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you've seen like the hot roll, cold roll coil prices go bananas. Um, on our pipe business, they're having trouble getting the steel to make the coil to make the pipe. So I mean, it's shortages. And the steel mills are still running at a pretty good clip. The only caveat being that they're getting the scrap they need for now at a pretty reasonable price. But just like anything, at some point the supply dries up.
Yeah, and that's what I feel from everyone I talk to. Like even like all the electricians we talk to, they can't get copper. you know?
Yeah.
But like just that right there, like that's where you feel like we really will get to. I feel like we'll get to a $5 copper, this summer
100%.
even.
I still believe we'll get $5 copper.
I think
I
we'll
haven't
get to
wavered on that.
$5 copper. I think everything else will kind of follow suit too. And I think we'll have a good year all the way into 2022. Until we start to see some, market corrections, and that will happen. And obviously, it's so hard to look a year in advance, but it's something we can talk
You
about.
need corrections. That's a more of a healthy market if you get a correction here and there.
Yeah,
I think that's not a bad thing.
yeah, exactly. All right. Well, we'll see everybody else in a week.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Thanks.